Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme sits at the center of modern financial crime because of how simple it was and how long it lasted. The story is not only about fraud, it's about reputation, trust, social pressure, and weak oversight. Understanding the full picture helps explain why so many intelligent, wealthy, and careful people fell for something that now seems obvious. Bernard Lawrence Madoff started his real trading firm in 1960 with a small amount of money from working as a lifeguard and sprinkler installer. Over time, he built a respected market-making firm. He was known as an early adopter of computerized trading. When stock markets were slow and done mostly by phone, Madoff pushed for electronic systems. This made him seem far ahead of the curve. By the 1990s, he was an industry giant. His legitimate business created real income. He did not look like a scammer. He dressed modestly. He did not brag. That image became one of his strongest weapons. His fraudulent investment advisory business, running parallel to the real trading firm, used a strategy he called the split strike conversion. Most investors didn't understand the strategy. They didn't ask. They trusted the steady returns. This strategy involved buying a basket of stocks and using options to reduce risk. It sounded reasonable, but the trades were not real. His team printed fake statements to show fake trades. He guessed market movements after the fact and inserted ideal results into statements. The documents looked professional. Many investors never looked closely. The scam worked for decades because the incoming money was huge. New clients brought in billions. Whenever someone wanted to withdraw, he simply paid them using someone else's deposit. It only failed if too many people asked for money at once. This is the classic structure of a Ponzi scheme. But what made Madoff's version unique was the scale. By the time it collapsed, it was the largest in US history. Madoff built exclusivity. When people asked to invest, he often said no. That made people want it more. Scarcity made the fund look special. Wealthy families believed they found something stable. Charities loved the predictable income because it helped them plan their yearly budgets. European banks invested through feeder funds. These funds funneled billions into Madoff's operation. Some banks relied on his reputation instead of verifying the trades. They passed the risk to their clients, including pension funds and private investors. Regulators also failed. The US Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, received complaints about Madoff's business for years, including clear warnings from Harry Markopolos. Harry recreated Madoff's strategy mathematically and found that the results were impossible. He submitted detailed reports. They were ignored. In hindsight, investigators admitted they misunderstood derivatives and did not grasp how the strategy was supposed to work. They trusted Madoff's status. Inside Madoff's fraudulent office floor, employees used old software to print fake monthly statements. Some didn't know the documents were fake. Others suspected but stayed quiet. The room had dot matrix printers and basic bookkeeping tools. This simplicity shocks many people. It shows how technology didn't protect investors. Trust blinded them. The collapse came during the 2008 financial crisis. Markets were falling. Panic spread. Investors wanted cash to cover losses elsewhere. Too many redemption requests came at once. Madoff didn't have the money. On December 10, 2008, he confessed to his sons, who worked in the real part of the company but were not involved in the fraud. They reported him. He was arrested the next day. The losses were massive. On paper, accounts showed about $65 billion, but this included fake profits. The real cash lost was around $18 billion. Recovery lawyers pursued clawbacks. These targeted people who withdrew more money than they put in. Even if they didn't know it was a scam, profits paid to them came from other victims. The courts decided it was fair to take that money back to redistribute. Madoff's victims included large banks, charities, business owners, actors, and elderly couples. Some people lost everything. Several took their own lives. The emotional toll was deep. Families who trusted Madoff for generations saw their wealth disappear overnight. In 2009, Madoff received a 150-year prison sentence. He died in 2021 at age 82. His wife, Ruth, claimed she knew nothing. Their two sons faced intense public pressure. One son, Mark, died by suicide in 2010. The other, Andrew, died of lymphoma in 2014. The case continued to ripple through families and institutions long after Madoff's death. The biggest lesson is simple: steady returns are rare. Real investing has ups and downs. When someone offers safety with no volatility, you should question it. Financial fraud often hides behind trust, reputation, and the fear of missing out.